Good evening. I'm Jerry Paul, Chair of the Lexington Tree Committee and Precinct 4 Town Meeting Member. Clear-cut lots like these are familiar sights to all of us, but the sites shown here are special. Before I explain what's special about these sites, I'd like to explain the goal of the Tree Committee and provide a quick primer on the tree bylaw. The goal of the Tree Committee is to encourage the retention and planting of large shade trees. A healthy large tree provides proportionally more ecosystem services than many small trees, and that advantage accelerates with size and age. To support the Tree Committee goal, the Lexington Tree Bylaw was passed in town meeting in 2001. The section of the bylaw we're concerned about today is section 120-8. It defines protected trees as 6-inch diameter or larger in setbacks during major construction. It exempts hazard trees and requires mitigation, replanting, or payment to the Lexington Tree Fund based on the number of inches of protected trees removed. Now let's look into the typical sequence of events in which the bylaw comes into play. The bylaw also defines a process. The developer submits information about existing trees, pays a tree removal permit fee, is issued the appropriate permits, and at this point, the developer can proceed to remove the trees. At project completion, the developer makes the required replanting and/or mitigation payment. But what if the developer cuts down trees first before applying for the permit? To handle such a situation, the bylaw has a 1-year look back. The look back period is defined in the yellow text. Fees and mitigation are required for trees removed in the year preceding a demolition or building permit. Now, without that sentence in the bylaw, a builder could simply remove trees before submitting the plot plan and the permit application, thus avoiding any payments and have no financial motivation to retain trees. However, if the developer is willing to wait the 12 months, there will be no mitigation required, even if the lot is clear-cut. And we have the following scenario. The developer removes trees, many times clear-cutting the lot, waits a year and submits a plot plan, now not showing any of the removed trees. No tree removal permit fee is required. The demo or building permit fee is issued. And at completion of the project, no mitigation payment or replanting is required. This results in sites like these that I showed you earlier. These clear-cut lots are a blight on a neighborhood. Abutters and neighbors will have to live with an ugly eyesore for a year before work even starts on the property. So how do we incent developers not to take this approach? Well, we make the following change proposed in the motion. This is the section of the bylaw we saw earlier, specifying a look-back period. We simply change the 12 months to 36 months. So what will be the effect of this change? It will encourage developers to follow the normal sequence of steps because waiting 3 years will involve more carrying costs, mortgage, taxes, etc. And by following the normal sequence, there will be fewer trees removed and less impact to abutters and other neighbors. Just as having a 1-year look back has decreased the probability that a developer removes all trees and then applies for a permit, this will further decrease the probability of such action and result in more sites like this one on the next slide. This is an example of a lot where the developer is following the normal sequence and many large trees are being retained. This benefits the town and it benefits the developer because it minimizes the mitigation that must be made. So in summary, This article increases the look-back period from 12 to 36 months. It reduces the incentive for a developer to wait a period of time after removing trees to begin demolition and construction, and it increases the probability the developer will remove fewer trees. Thank you, and I look forward to your questions.